With me, the man who no introduction in New York, Floyd Patterson, the world heavyweight champ, is training a bunch of kids right now up in the tradition of Customato up in the Catskills.
Have been since 1973, yes.
You tell me about the day you go out as like a preacher, and you give services to people in their homes.
No, what you call it is Catholic. It's called a Eucharistic minister, which I can go to hospitals, which I do go to the hospital, the nursing home up in Kingston, and I give them communion. And I can give out communion. That's all.
You won a gold medal in the Olympics, and you came back and took the heavyweight championship under the great Cus D'Amato. What are the principles that Cus left behind with you?
Well, the thing I was more impressed with Cus than anything else was his honesty and his knowledge as far as the mind was concerned. For some reason or another, the way he would speak, the way he would talk, and the things he would do somehow gave you more confidence in yourself. Cus was an expert at that.
Now, you were got the first heavyweight champ to lose his title and win it back again?
Yes, I was the first, and I'll always be the first.
What can we tell today's kids? They seem to have a lot of adversity, and you've overcome a lot of it yourself.
Well, if you really love something and you really want it, and you're willing to sacrifice and you're willing to give it all of yourself, you'll make a dent. Determination is a powerful weapon. It makes dreams come true in all parts of life.
Finally, in boxing, the inductees Muhammad Ali. Almost everything sounds trite when you talk about a legend of Muhammad Ali, but for those of you too young to have seen him when he was Cassius Clay, if you thought he was great as Muhammad Ali, you should have seen him then, because he could have gone 15 fast rounds any time and beaten anybody. And yet, when you think of Muhammad Ali, at least I do anyway, I associate his greatness more with his defeats than I do with his successes. For example, when he lost to Frazier, the next day, I'll never forget, he was at a press conference and willing to talk to anybody with that swollen jaw. And that reminds me also of the fact that he fought just about every round with a broken jaw against Kenny Norton. So the man had it in every respect. Also being inducted, Ray Arcell, unfortunately not with us tonight. He's 91 years old, so that's understandable. But he's had such great champions. But all you had to do was to see Roberto Duran to understand what Ray Arcell meant, because Duran had native talent, no question. But he had the punching form, all the little things that you needed to go beyond being a good fighter to become a champion. The left hook, the jab, and if you look closely at those films, you see Duran's head moving all the time to evade those punches. It wasn't until later on in his career that he took some bad beatings. Rocky Graziano recently passed away. A great champion in this respect. He won the middleweight championship from Tony Zale. But unfortunately for us, the film of that fight is not available, at least it hasn't been shown in public. But here's a guy who wasn't the greatest middleweight champion of all time, but in that fight was close to being stopped. Both eyes badly cut, closed. He rallied and knocked out Tony Zale, and eventually lost their third fight. Rocky Marciano, also an inductee, the undefeated champion. What a wonderful, wonderful boxer and puncher. And yet, recently I looked back and saw some of the films of Marciano, and I realized that he didn't have that much native talent. You know, he fought a number of fights under 190 pounds. He was kind of a small heavyweight, and he didn't have great punching form. But against Jersey Joe Walcott, he showed exactly what he was made of, because the bridge of his nose was cut badly, and he rallied to win that fight. He did so much with heart and determination, and of course belongs in the Hall of Fame as well. And Floyd Patterson, who is here tonight, another example of a guy with great determination. People remember that he was the youngest heavyweight champion at that time. They forget what happened after Johansson knocked him out in their first fight. He couldn't wait to get back at him. And remember this, Patterson fought also under 190 pounds. He was a kind of small heavyweight with fast hands. But in that second fight, he was a picture of determination. And you knew from the opening bell that he was going to knock out Johansson, which he did. Floyd Patterson, who is here with us tonight. Floyd, could you come up, please? Floyd, would you come up, please?
Yep.
Floyd?
I didn't come prepared to make a speech, but I will say thank you.
Now, here's Bob again.
What a great pleasure for me to have to readjust the microphone upward. It's a shame that Ray Arcell couldn't be here tonight. He lives over on Lexington Avenue, but evidently he had a date with Hildegard, I'm guessing. His reference is lost on most of the crowd.